Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me for this video. I've received a few questions recently on why I side discharge with my mower instead of mulch with it, so I thought this would be a good opportunity to kind of talk about that in a video, kind of tell you the reasons why I do what I do, and give you some of my experiences with trying out mulching and side discharging. If you happen to already mulch with your mower and it seems to work perfectly for you, then this isn't really a video to sway you in one way or the other, just to give you a few of my thoughts and kind of talk about what I've experienced in my yard. I think one of the first important factors to talk about is the mower type. This is important because some mowers were designed with mulching in mind right from the start. This Honda, for instance, with its deck design, the blades that it uses, and you can see that it doesn't even have a side discharge, was designed more for mulching in mind. Now you can discharge with this mower and bag with it. It actually sends the grass out the back of the mower, but you can tell that the designers were more interested in mulching with this mower. So the Toro Time Master that I use in my yard can side discharge, it can mulch by just closing the chute, and it can also bag. However, I think with the deck design on this particular mower, I found that they probably didn't have mulching in mind quite as much. It does work for mulching on a little bit thinner yards, but on my grass that's very, very thick, I find that the deck kind of clogs up with grass a little bit more quickly than it would on a Honda or something that was designed with mulching specifically in mind. One of the other things that I've experienced when discharging is that I seem to get a little bit better cut quality. And this makes sense really if you think about it, because if you're mowing over the grass and you're shooting the clippings out right away, the deck is pretty much cleaning itself out, so it has the most suction available to pull the grass up and cut it. Now if you're mulching, you're leaving all those clippings inside, it's swirling around, it's cutting the grass underneath, but it's also having to cut all those clippings multiple times while they swirl around. When mulching with my particular mower, I seem to find a few more stragglers, and those are those little pieces of grass that stick straight up. The suction pulled them up, but it just seemed to miss those cuts, and so I find a few more of those when I mulch. Now, side discharging isn't 100% perfect with my mower either. I find some stragglers here and there, but it seems to be just a little bit better. Now the other problem that I've experienced with mulching is that the grass tends to clump up a little bit more. Now if it's just a little bit too long, if it's just a little bit wet or damp, this problem gets worse when mulching. Then you're going to find these clumps behind the mower of grass that just sit there and lay on top of the other grass. That's not a good thing. You don't want that smothering the grass. With both side discharging and mulching, it's very important that you mow frequently. But I think with side discharging for me, I found that it's even more important to mow every few days if you have to, because you don't want long clippings being shot out onto the grass and leaving it look like you baled hay on your lawn. I mow often enough so that I'm not taking off too much of the grass blade, and that way when it shoots out onto the grass, it's not going to be smothering the lawn. You may or may not know this, but there's something in lawn care called the 1/3 rule. And this is that you don't want to cut off more than 1/3 of the grass blade at a time. So that means you have one strand of grass here, we only want to cut off 1/3 of it at most when we're mowing. Some people think that side discharging means that you can just let your grass grow for 2 weeks, and come outside, scalp it down to 2 inches or below, and then you just end up with a lawn that looks like a field of baled hay. That's not good for the lawn, it's going to smother it, and you're just going to run into a lot of problems. So the important thing I found with that is that, again, mowing frequently is very important whether you're mulching or you're side discharging. One other factor that I've experienced a little bit more with my mower, and especially my original Time Master that was a little bit underpowered when mulching, was that it puts a lot of strain on the motor to continuously swirl those clippings in there, and especially if you have a thick lawn like I have, it puts more strain on the motor to have to cut through all these clippings continuously. Now with side discharging, I don't notice that as much because I'm shooting everything out of the deck of the mower right away. The motor doesn't seem to have to work too hard, and it seems to be more efficient for me. I'm going to end this by saying again, just do whatever works best for you. As long as you're not cutting off too much grass at one time and you're mowing frequently, mulching or side discharging should work in either scenario, and it kind of depends on, again, your mower type, your grass thickness, the type of grass that it is, and just what you find when you actually mow in your own yard. Use your own experience, pay attention to your grass and your mower as you mow, and just go with whatever works best for you. I hope that gives you a little bit more information. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.